when I'm alone, I always think about what my life would be like without Julie in it. And
Aw.
it would really suck. And Julie really is a part of every part of me. And I really consider myself a very, very lucky person to have her in my life. There's just nobody on the planet who can compare to her in my heart. She's got it all. She's got my whole heart for my whole life. And I feel very fortunate to be with her. So I really think staying in love is a lot of what you do with your own heart when you're alone. And part of what I do is to realize my life would be terrible without Julie in it. And it's wonderful with Julie in it.
Wow. So you see, when you hear stuff like that, do you think I feel love for him? Yes. Thank you, darling.
You're welcome, sweetheart. I went through a period where I was hyper-focused on what was going wrong in my life. And it made me really kind of irritable and angry all the time. And I realized that I'd gotten into this habit of just looking at the negative. And so I really worked on myself. And to be honest, it took me 2 years to really change that habit of mind. And I'm really glad I did, because one person that I thought negatively about when I first met them, I realized I was in this negative habit of mind. And I countered that by looking for what that person was doing right. And I went over to them and said, I really enjoyed your voice. You got that beautiful voice. And that's the first thing I ever said to that person. And he's become a very close friend of mine over time. So be patient with yourself. Getting out of a negative habit of mind is not easy. You really have to work on it.
So let's say that your partner is always on their phone during dinner, and they're always picking up the phone and listening to whoever is calling them right in the middle of dinner when you guys are trying to have a nice family get-together, nice connection over a meal.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really difficult situation, and you need to bring up your complaint with what we call a softened startup.
Right.
Which means I feel, what emotion do you feel? Like I'm upset about what? That the phone is always on the table being answered. You say that kind of neutrally. And then what do you need? And you want to make it a positive need. Like, I would love it if we could just talk over dinner without any interruptions from the phone. I feel about what and I need, instead of using criticism.
Yeah, don't describe your partner and analyze your partner. Talk about yourself.
So, first of all, you don't want to apologize too soon. You want to find out the impact of whatever it is that you did that didn't feel right to you. And then apologize for that. For example, if your partner really got their feelings hurt, or maybe they even had some past experience that was very bad, triggered in them, that then brought up all kinds of really painful feelings, you want to know about that. And then, only after that, apologize.
Yeah, one thing I'd add to that is take responsibility for your part in having hurt your partner's feelings. Accept responsibility. Don't say, I'm sorry you're hurt. Say, I'm sorry for what I said, for what I did that hurt you. Take some responsibility for your part in it. Then the apology seems quite real.
If your partner isn't curious about your life, it may be for a couple of reasons. One, they may be super stressed out a lot of the time about their own life, maybe their job, their work, and they forget that they need to keep asking questions to find out how you are doing, what's going on with you, how perhaps you're changing, what you're thinking about. People forget to ask each other questions after, those first few dates. So we have to remember keep showing your curiosity about who your partner is and how they're changing over time.
Yeah, and I would add, if your partner's not acting curious about your life, sit down and when you have time and say, there's one thing that's really been bothering me lately. You're just not curious about my life. I need you to ask more questions about what's going on. And let me tell you one thing that's going on in my life right now that is really important to me. And then tell your partner what it is. And hopefully your partner asks questions about that and really be stimulated to be curious about what you're going through.
People should stop saying to each other anything about each other's bodies that's negative, or their faces that's negative, or their personalities that's negative. Never, ever say to your partner, you look really fat in that dress. Ugh, it's a killer.
Yeah. Dave Barry said, if your wife asks you, do I look fat in this dress? The only competent response is to fall down and pretend you're having a heart attack. So don't comment on your partner's body, and have the habit of mind of scanning your social environment for things you can appreciate. Get your partner doing something right and really say thank you and mean it. And try to say I love you every day when you actually feel it.